Hey everybody, so here I am. I've tried some new technology today, so hopefully this is working really well. It seems very straightforward. I just want to say welcome to Friday. I'm not quite sure where the week has gone, but it's been a week of wellness and wellness hints and tips for you. Starting with, we had Monday in motion, then we had Tummy Tuesday, Wednesday was Wellness Day, and yesterday was Thirsty Friday. So Thirsty Thursday, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So today I thought, as it was Friday, that we could just have a recap on what was talked about throughout the week. So yeah, here I am, Friday, talking about your hints and tips, bring you some hints and tips. Monday, as I say, we talked about Monday in motion. So on Monday, we talked about keeping mobile, keeping yourself moving, what were the best ways to keep moving. And there's so many different ways that you can do it without actually having to go OTT with what you're doing. You know, you can keep it nice and simple. Yeah, so what have I been doing? So I've been out walking. Sorry, I'm just trying to work out where my comments might be coming up. They could be anywhere. Yeah, anyway, moving swiftly on. So yes, keeping it simple. So I talked about going for a walk on Monday. Where I am in Bewdley, I'm really lucky in that wherever I go, wherever I step outside of the door, there is so many different places where I can go to walk. Hey Janice, thank you so much. You've just tested my comments for me so I can actually see you, so that's good. So yes, Monday I was talking about going out and doing exercises, and I've got loads of walks that I can do around here, so there's no real shortage of routes that I can take, so I know that I'm really lucky, and some people aren't quite so lucky. But there are other things that you can do. I talked about doing simple things like press-ups against the wall, crunches that you can do, and if you're doing something like crunches, what you're doing is you're working your ab muscles. So what you need to do from that perspective is, because you're strengthening and tightening the ab muscles, what you're doing is you're stretching the back muscles, so you need to be able to have like the yin and the yang, I suppose. So if you're doing something with the core, then you need to do something with the back. So whenever I do, say, 50 crunches, what I'll do after that is then I'll do 50 dorsal raises as well, so that they counteract one another. So you can do things like that. You can do squats, you can do lunges. I mentioned on Monday about when you go and put the kettle on, rather than just getting sidetracked, either looking for goodies in the cupboard or doing other little jobs, why not go and do some crunches or some exercises? Go and plank for a minute. You could do some press-ups against the wall. You could do some bicep curls, get a couple of tins out the cupboard and stand there and do your bicep curls and strengthen the arms. You could do some tricep dips on the kitchen counter. So that's just a couple of things that I suggested on Monday when I was talking about Monday in motion. If you were on Monday and you joined me, then you'll also remember that I mentioned about creating a little bit of mobility when you get out of bed first, before you get out of bed first thing in the morning. So rather than just getting out of bed and feeling all creaky, maybe get out of bed, and before you get out of bed, just do circles with the ankles and get those moving. And then we've got the toes, and you can straighten and bend the legs as well, so you've got that mobility coming in. And it's about getting the blood flow going as well and warming those muscles up before you get out of bed, because we've been in bed for 8 hours at a time and the whole body just seizes up, and invariably we're dehydrated as well, so everything feels really tight. So going on to the dehydration side of things, best thing to do is go and grab yourself a drink if you've not got a drink next to the bed, preferably water, or maybe hot water with lemon in, or something that's caffeine free. if you're having caffeine first thing in the morning, it's just going to give you a false buzz. It's not going to really get you going. So you're going to get that sluggish feeling. So this is what I mentioned the other day. I think it was yesterday when I said about having hot water with lemon. It helps kickstart the metabolism. It helps clear out the digestive system. It helps clear out anything that's been stagnating in the body during the day or during the night, rather. So yeah, get yourself a drink first thing in the morning, but make sure it's the right thing so that you're feeling a little bit more energized rather than waking up feeling tired and then continuing to feel tired and groggy. What else did I talk about? Tummy Tuesday. So I was talking about all the different foods that we can have. I've just had a really lovely gift dropped off by a very special friend, and it's strawberries dipped in different chocolates, and there's some smiley faces on there and some little red hearts, and which was really lovely. So that just reminds me to say, get some fruit inside you. But talking about fruit, have a look at the fruit that you're eating. Don't just assume that all fruit is really good for you. So fruits such as grapes are really high in sugar. And equally, bananas, which I absolutely love and used to eat loads and loads of, bizarrely, they're full of sugar as well. They've got loads and loads of sugar in them. They're not so bad when they're green and just turning yellow. But as they get more and more ripe and closer to brown, which I don't like them when they're like that anyway, they're actually really sugary. So they're not so good for you. So yeah, look at the fruit that you're eating. Excuse me. Berry fruits are really good for you. So you've got your blueberries as well. They're really good for you. Cranberries, if you can drink cranberry juice, then cranberry is good for urinary tract infections as well. So if you're somebody who struggles with those, then definitely get some cranberry juice down you. Strawberries are good for you. Raspberries are good for you. And then obviously you've got your lemon for your vitamin C and helping your digestive system as well. Watermelon's really good for you because it's got a high water content in there. I love watermelon, especially in the summer. It's a bit cold at the moment, but in the summer on a really hot day when you've got a nice slice of watermelon, it's just so refreshing. And there's so many different types of melon out there. A fruit that I've discovered this year, and I think it must be out of season again now, is a persimmon fruit. So I don't know whether you've heard of those at all, but they're really tasty. They're a bit strange, really. I don't really know how to describe a persimmon fruit. It's round and it's orange. I've eaten it at its ripest, and I've eaten it when it's probably not at its ripest. But either way, they're both really, really tasty. They haven't particularly got a core in them, so you can eat the whole of the fruit. They're refreshing. They're not too sweet, so they're not too sugary. Hint and tip for those is if you buy those in Aldi, there's something like, I think, 49p or 99p for 3. You go to Sainsbury's and they're £1.49 or £1.50. But yeah, persimmon fruits are really, really nice. Another food that I've started eating a lot of in recent times is kale. And I'm sure loads of you out there already know about this. But if you get some kale and you toss it in olive oil and then you put it on a baking tray in the oven, and you can either sprinkle it with salt or paprika or Chinese five spice, and then put it in the oven and then wait for it to go really crispy. It's almost like the seaweed that you get in the Chinese restaurants. I love pomegranate too, Janice, but I'm not allowed to eat it because of the aberrants. Pomegranate and grapefruit actually interact with the meds that I'm on at the moment. So not that I like grapefruit, but the pomegranate I do love. Yeah, kale. If you cook kale in the oven, it's like the seaweed that you get from the Chinese restaurants, but it's just really nice to just sit and pick at as well. So I think eating kale that way is much nicer than steaming it, because I think when you steam it, it's a little bit bland. I have put it in shakes before now, but not masses of it in shakes. So yes, that's something new that I've used this year. I think I talked about the other day the green shakes that I was having as well. So I spoke to a friend of mine the other day about her green shakes, and she puts broccoli in hers, and I've not put broccoli in mine. I normally use spinach, cucumber, celery, carrot, pear, and kiwi fruit, and then add some water to it as well, and probably either a squirt of lemon juice or a squirt of lime juice. Whiz that all up, and that's really tasty as well. And I've only recently started putting the carrot in it, but I have noticed that when you put carrot in it, it makes so much difference. It just adds a little edge of sweetness to it, a little bit more. So the green shakes are really tasty. If I do a berry shake, then I tend to use the milk, an almond milk, more so than water. Something I have made this week and I've become addicted to are oat pancakes. So I'm trying not to eat flour and eat anything with flour in from the gluten perspective. And I was eating loads and loads of porridge at one point, and I've just gone completely off it because I just can't cope with the texture. So I've got my bag of oats and I whiz them up and turn them into flour. And I've been making pancakes made out of oat flour rather than normal flour, and they taste just the same, if not better, actually. So I've just been a load of flour, 2 eggs, a load of almond milk, whiz it all up, and then put some cinnamon in it. And then I've just been cooking it in. I've got one of these little pans, and I cook it with olive oil. And then a couple of days I put mixed berry fruit on top of it, and then other days I've just got a sprinkle of raisins and sprinkle the raisins into the pancakes while the pancakes are still cooking. And then when they're cooked, you've still got that element of sweetness to them without actually having to add any sugar or syrups or anything to it. So for me, that's great, especially with Pancake Day coming up next week. So that's the handy hint. If you're looking at doing some baking and you're trying to avoid the gluten aspect of things, have a look at, hi Christine, try and have a look at the oat side of things, because I think you can add bicarbonate of soda to it. I'm not the world's greatest baker, so I don't really know about ingredients that you put in things. But I'm assuming that if you're going to bake with it, then you might need to put bicarbonate of soda in it as well to help it rise and do. What else? Yesterday I talked about fluids and about water and the importance of keeping hydrated. I did touch on the fact that alcohol in moderation being the key word there, alcohol in moderation is actually quite good for the gut microbiome. So it's only when you start to drink excessive amounts of alcohol that it actually starts to affect the microbiome within the gut. And as I mentioned during the week, the microbiome in the gut is so important because it's that contributes to the state of our immune system. And the stomach is basically the second brain. It's called the enteric nervous system. So you've got the central nervous system, the peripheral nervous system, and the enteric nervous system. And the central nervous system is actually the nervous system that basically is the brain, the spinal cord, and the enteric is basically everything from the esophagus all the way down to the emergency exit, as I referred to it as the other day. So it's really, really important to make sure that you've got good gut health. And this is why the diet is so important as well. So when you've got your good diet and you're cutting all the rubbish out, then it's going to help with your gut health as well. So I did touch on it the other day, I think, when I was talking on Wellness Wednesday about different ways that you can look after yourself and what does wellness mean to you. Hey, Joe. Kale roast in the, it is really, I haven't tried it with cayenne. Oh, okay. Heartburn afterwards, maybe a little bit too much cayenne. I've not tried it with cayenne, but it is really tasty. But yeah, going back to Wellness Wednesday, I was talking about different ways that you can look after yourself and just asking the question, what does wellness mean to you? And I know that for each of us, it means something very, very different. To me, wellness is about feeling calm and relaxed, not feeling stressed, and feeling happy in the moment. And so what ways can you make sure that you create that level of wellness? And for each of us, as I say, it's different. So some of the things that I like to do, I've got an adult colouring book that I will pick up from time to time, and I'll just get my felt pens out and I'll sit and colour for ages. And it's really nice when I'm doing that because I just lose myself in the moment. You just forget about everything else that's going on because I'm just concentrating so much on what I'm colouring and the different colours that I'm using, and trying desperately hard not to go over the lines because as a kid, I was useless at colouring. I always used to go over the lines. So colouring's really good. A nice soak in the bath with some bubble bath and some nice music on, and maybe a face mask. Massage, not that you can have massages at the moment, but massages are great for wellness. Indian head massage. I don't know whether you've seen them, but you can get these things. I think they're referred to as spiders, but they've got little fingers on them, long, thin metal fingers on them. You can actually use them to massage your head. They're really nice, they are. So you can use those. Turn off the TV and just put some tunes on, or sit and listen to read. Do some meditation. Do some yoga. There's loads of yoga channels around, and loads of people on Facebook as well that are obviously doing loads of different exercises as well. But wellness is about making sure that you're looking after yourself, really. It's not just the physical well-being, it's the mental well-being as well, and making sure that you're showing yourself a little bit of love, self-love and some care, really. Yeah, so week of wellness. Obviously, all this came about is because I've launched my 6 weeks to wellness event, which starts on the 23rd of February. I forgot what month we were in then. Yeah, 23rd of February. So it's 6 weeks to wellness, and it's an online course. And it's a combination of coaching, of hypnotherapy, looking at the way that we eat, looking at our own personal habits and seeing if we can create some healthier habits, not just healthier food habits, but healthier in general habits. I mean, this is something that I adopted like 6 or 8 weeks ago now. And I felt a huge difference in myself personally and physically, which is why I decided to launch this 6 weeks to wellness program, really. I have put together a sheet based on how this week's gone with the videos that I've done. So I know, Christine, I've got your email. But if anybody would like to receive a copy of the sheet, the info sheet for this week, and just what I've covered really, and ways for wellness, looking after the stomach, Thirsty Thursday and Monday Emotion. If you'd like a copy of that, just pop me a message or leave a message in the comment box below, and I can get that out to you as well. Had a few technical issues this week, but I have to say I've quite enjoyed doing these live sessions again. I used to do them all the time a few years ago, and I just kind of got out of the habit of it. So if you're unlucky, this might become a regular thing. Maybe not every day, but maybe once or twice a week. I'll start doing a weekly call. If anybody's got any topics that you want covered, drop me a message. Maybe I can do a little bit of research into those topics, and we can do a 15-20 minute slot on whatever it is you want to talk about, really. So yeah, so that's it. I was supposed to have some banners running across the bottom of here, but I don't think that's worked. So I don't know where they've gone, but never mind, doesn't matter. So yes, anyway. It's Friday. Sunday's Valentine's Day. It doesn't matter whether you're in a relationship or not. Have a lovely Sunday. There's somebody out there that loves you, and you probably love them, whether it's a family member or whether it's a friend, who knows? But pop them a message on Valentine's Day and just let them know how much you appreciate them. So have a lovely weekend. I may well be back next week with some more ramblings and shenanigans, and have a good weekend, and I'll see you all soon. Take care. Thanks for logging in.